My reefing fan March here, Fragbox TV. We are in Seoul, South Korea. And this video I'm about to show you, I gotta tell you, you're never gonna see another shop, cafe. I don't even know what I just walked through. My mind is actually on the floor. This is gonna be one of the coolest videos you've ever seen here on the channel. I can promise you that. This episode of Fragbox TV is brought to you by
the world's most beautiful nano reef tanks. Start your reefing adventure at reefcasa.com.
We're here in Korea, South Korea. I don't know what kind of bird this is, but it's really cool. It's actually quite beautiful here. It's cold and snowing, but we're Canadian, so we're used to it. Okay, we're at make your own little sea. No, that's not it. It's Shally Aquarium Studio and Cafe. And we've seen some other cafe style ones on, oh, it says push, not pull, on the channel, but nothing like this in terms of size, design. This is it. This is the coolest to date. This is the coolest place I've been. It's called Cafe Shally. So when you first come in on this side of the street, this is the store side. In a second, I'm going to take you through that wall. On the other side of this, it's got to be, I don't know, 350-gallon aquarium. He has the owner. He's here with us. He's going to walk us through some of the stuff and design. So this is the shopping side. If you need to get your Red Sea salt, if you want to see what corals are up for grabs, some of the cool custom Lego that they have here in the shop, that's on this side. On the other side is what you get your cappuccino, your latte, your espresso, your macchiato, and it's a really nice separation. It feels like two very distinct spaces. So we're greeted with some beautiful Red Sea reefers. I think this is probably the 525 or 625 and a 200 throughout the whole store. Man, this place is so clean. Like it's so clean. There's no boxes, there's no junk, there's no smell. Sometimes we get that kind of fishy, oceany smell. Presentation, look at the way everything's laid out. It's just perfect. Now come on the other side of this wall here. The owner has actually designed this place. I feel a little bit bad because we didn't give him any notice. We just showed up, and then funny enough, he actually follows us on Fragbox TV. Check out this. It is a full-blown cafe. It's not just a coffee maker or a pot of coffee. I'm having one of the best cappuccinos I've had here in South Korea. Check out the presentation. Let me come around to the other side. Maybe we'll have some cake after. Signature meat pies. Look at this. This is better than Starbucks. For Tim Hortons, what is that? Forget it. This is real coffee. And then check out the aquariums. You can chill, hang out. It's such a cool concept. I'm going to walk through all of the different display tanks he has here. They're all really unique. They're different in size. They're different in what he's keeping in size. Different sort of lights. So this acts sort of as a showroom as well for people that want to get into the hobby. So it's really smart. Come over, have a coffee. Let's look at some different size aquariums, different lights, different sumps as you sip on your beautiful coffee. And just the design, it feels very, I feel like I'm in Europe right now. It's really cool, really thought out. Look at the ceiling. Just an awesome space. Like I said, got to be one of the coolest places that we've visited so far on the channel to date. Full-on kitchen back there too. We're here with the one and only Lizard Lady. Hello, Lizard Lady. Hello. AKA Snake Girl, AKA March's girlfriend, AKA Chris. What do you see?
A different type of coral growing out of that one coral.
Yeah, it's a little feather duster growing out of a Bower Banky. It's hard to decide where to start because they're all so big and beautiful, and there's so much going on. And you know that your boy March here suffers from I am blessed with that ADHD. You know what's up. This one here, I don't know why, is really speaking to me. I think I'm drawn to, one, the plants, and two, the white light. You know, everything is so blue these days in the hobby, so anytime I see sorry, battery died. No video is complete without a battery dying. The craftsmanship is absolutely perfect on all of them. Let's go over and check this one out. I really like how shallow it is and how long. It's a really funny looking tank, but I love it. Now you guys have heard me say on the channel before, I've always wanted to do something like this, coffee and corals. This concept is awesome. I think it would do well with the shop if we could get maybe the shop next door. If the coral sales are slow, you got the coffee sales to help out. Coffee helps bring people in the store. That's how you get new hobbyists and people involved. It's a really, really smart concept. And I see a lot of these hybridization shops when I'm traveling throughout Asia, just in general. Like we went to a place in Tokyo that was a brewery and a bike shop. So you could have a beer while your bike is getting fixed, or it would be like a plant store, but also a seamstress. Like I see a lot of these twin shops, and I think it's really smart. I'm in love with the dimensions on this thing. It's really shallow, so it's probably about 14 inches. It looks like 14 by 14 and maybe just over 4 feet long. So it's probably not that big in terms of gallons, but it has quite an impact. And look at this light. It's just perfect. You know, hanging is really the way you want to go, without any, you don't want to take away from the tank with these large obtrusive arms. I love Ecotech, love Radion. The arms are ugly, the RMS arms, even the HMS arms for the aqua illumination. This is really the way to go. Hang it from the ceiling. I know it's not always possible. This is such a nice touch. This dual screen behind just playing black and white of the ocean as you have this in front. You can tell like a lot of thought went into the entire space, and the execution is just phenomenal. It's such a, I can't tell you how cool it is to just be here. Look at this anemone. I'm gonna see if you can turn the white lights back on. We have like orange tips on a blue bubble tip anemone, and just really minimal rock work. You know, you don't want to take away too much from the swimming room for the fish. He's got some mangroves coming out, and I keep seeing this super slim overflow on a couple of the tanks. When the owner comes back, I'm going to ask him more about how he came up with this idea and design, and a little bit more about these tanks. Let's see what's going on here. Mind, those doors don't want to open. Okay, look at this little seating area. Very, very nice touch. I think I'm going to get to this tank last because it has a couple features that I see that are really, really impressive, and I've yet to see. No, I saw a tank like this once in Las Vegas at MACNA. I think it was 2019 with that center overflow. So I think I'm going to come back to that one. I'm going to jump over to these twin large in-wall peninsula style display tanks right here. Now, how old are the tanks? Only 2 months?
5 months.
Oh, 5 months for the tanks.
5 months.
Yeah, they look like it looks very mature. It looks very old.
처음 들어가는
You can
거죠?
change all these ATI Strations.
어플
Oh,
들어가.
neat. This is a pretty cool app. I've never seen this ATI app, but you can apply a live demo to all the different tanks that you have connected. Look at that. Set the duration. Set the, yeah, sure. Do the 1 hour. Yeah, that's good. This is a pretty cool app. I've never seen this. Oh, look at that. You just press one button and then boom, all of them start to change. That is really cool. Very, very responsive app. It gives us a very white setting. Check it out. With these white settings, we don't even need this orange filter that I'm using. I'm really impressed with that light. This is just incredible. These look a lot, this looks like a lot more mature than just a couple months old. We have like lots of growth already. Only slimers, beautiful large colonies from Australia, Bacillopora. What up, Tunzi? Oh, funny to not see Ecotech pups. The size on this sea cucumber. Look at the size of this thing. This is really one of the best, most powerful sand sifting algae machines if you want to keep your sand bed clean. Not the prettiest, not really, you know, sight for sore eyes, but in terms of raw cleaning power of sand bed, these, and look at these, what we have. We keep seeing these in Korea. Sand sifting starfish. One. There's the second one, third one. I'm sure there's a lot more that are in here. I wonder what kind of salt he's using. I'm going to ask when he comes back, but listen, the size and health of these acro, just perfect. You know, this is a very, very natural looking and peninsula style tank by far. This is my favorite to see when you can look right through the tank because it looks like it's almost floating. It's a really, really natural appearance. Look at the size and health of this beautiful flower pot coral. Chalice, that's what I mean. Like, this looks a lot older, a lot more mature than something that is just set up. The size of this clam, the light's a little blue over here, but my God, it really gives the impression of a much, much older tank. Really healthy fish, a big collection of powerful algae eaters. So we're seeing the chocolate or mimic tang, yellow tang, fox face, it could probably do with a lot more fish. So I think this is just guesstimating probably 400 to 500 gallons. It's maybe 12 feet long from side to side. Could do with a lot more fish in here, but whatever they're doing, it looks great so far. And then if that wasn't enough, we're greeted with a twin right off to the side. It's really cool because it looks like the space where you walk into the room is kind of broken up. So you have the one tank, the walkway, and then the other one, but it gives the appearance, you know, almost of one kind of seamless one. And this exposed corner that they have here is so neat. You know, the walls cut out, like you can tell, like I said, lots of thought, lots of design. I love this, so minimal, you know. A rock like this, my immediate thought would be, let's fill this with like some torch. No, very unassuming, classic, sort of, I think it's an elkhorn. It's a type of a Montipora, and usually we'll see it branch a little more, but I like what he's done. Sort of this little Monty island with some Montipora dene, and then scattered like gingerly throughout, connecting the two islands, some beautiful scollies, acanthophilia, cynaria. This rockwork is just stunning. The way it floats, I'm not always crazy about floating rockwork like this. It kind of looks like a bonsai tree, but in this instance, just perfect. Look at the size and health of that tang, and you can really appreciate the color of the fish under the white light. So the blue lights make the coral look cool, but if you really want to see how stunning and healthy the fish are, you want it under the white light, just like how we see here. And then this is it from the other side. Oh, I didn't even recognize. We're looking at a Red Sea tank. So cool, peninsula one, but the way he's done it, he's built it sort of in the wall, so it wouldn't be, you know, recognizable as Red Sea right away until you come over to this side, open the cabinet, and hello, we are greeted with all of the Red Sea equipment. Oh, actually a Royal exclusive skimmer, Red Sea Reef Mat 500, or maybe the 1200 actually. Such a clean system. We sell a ton of these in the store. If you're looking for a all-in-one, complete, large reef tank system, really Red Sea's the way to go. You can't really go wrong. A little Darasa clam hiding there on the sand bed. And it looks like max spec gyres are, or maybe the Red Sea Reef Waves, kind of hard to tell, but this power bar sort of gyre flow is his favorite type of flow throughout the store. I keep seeing these ones. They are really great pumps until it comes time to service them. That's when they're not so fun. Everything is really neat. Look, proper cable management laid out nicely. This is the way it's supposed to be done. Look at the power bars there up on the wall. Simple little touches like that make all the difference in case you ever have a flood. You don't have to worry. This is a light I haven't tried out. Ray, I believe back in the shop, is using one at home, and he's always preaching about it. ATI, if you want to send us one, or I can't think of anywhere I would use one right now, and they're so big, you know, I'd need a specific application for it, but they're really sleek. I think in terms of like aesthetics, it is probably the nicest looking light. It just looks like an alien mothership of LEDs coming down over your tank. And then it's cool because on the side he's using Kessel's almost as like a blue spotlight to help accentuate and shine on some of the coral. So we have some Kessel 160s on the side and then 360s here. Everything is just so neat. Even when you look up towards the bulkhead, the HVAC, the lighting, the fans, everything is really well thought out. It's just super clean in here. And then we can access the sump on this one from the other side. So now we're back in the sort of like the retail side of it. And this is where you can access the sump, see the equipment. Look at the size of this skimmer over here. Monster, Bubble King. Everything is really nicely done. Looks like a custom sump. Nice aluminum stand like we saw at the shop that we just came from. Some more live rock. Looks pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm not seeing any controllers actually, which is a little bit surprising. Maybe they don't have Neptune Apex here in Korea yet. If you guys are watching, this could be an untapped market for you guys. Some MP10s inside this reservoir. Personally love controllers, but there's something nice about not using them. It is, you know, less to go wrong, but I don't know if I could live without one after being used to it so long. Look at you. Just, man, seeing a clam like that, just so nice. This is what we call the goldenrod and acropora. This is truly a acro-dominated tank with the exception of the clam and the goni, and they just look so good on a 12-foot tank, running 3 of those ATI Strations again, and then a couple of the Kessels as spotlights, and the corals just look phenomenal. Everything looks like it has growth. Look at the polyp extension on this thing here. Just perfect. That's what you want to see. You can't really give a millipora too much flow. I don't think there's really such a thing as too much flow. They really just love the current. That's when they're going to do well. And it's actually, it doesn't look like that much. Oh no, maybe 2 MP60s over on that side for current, and then 2 monster Tunzi pumps over on this side. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that much flow, but the stuff's moving and everything's, you don't see like even a drop of algae. I guess it doesn't come in a drop, but you don't see any algae anywhere in the tank at all. Oh, what up, Aquaforest? Shout out to you guys. Nice to see you over on the other side of the planet. This is one of our preferred salts in the store. And you can go back and actually check out the video. We went to go see them in Poland. We did a 2-part video series. We were there for a weekend and checked out how they make it and did a whole video tour in Poland of the Aquaforest factory. I think that video is really worth going back and rewatching. Presentation, man, that's the one real big takeaway I'm taking from this trip. When I get back to the shop, I'm going to go into a crazy cleaning presentation mode and just really, you know, bring the shop to the next level, because I think it's so important when you walk into a place like this, when you know, it's kind of like that saying that we eat with our eyes. It's the same for everything, you know. The presentation is just so important, and it's just about making your customers feel, making them feel welcome, and creating a space like this. It just feels very homey, and it's very pleasant to be in, which then makes it very easier for customers to open their wallets. No, I'm not. It's not about that. It's really just about making it the best that you possibly can. Just about every Red Sea product out there is on these shelves, from the test kits, the dosing, the energy, the no-pox, the foundation, the reef mats, the new DC pumps, ATOs, reef waves, reef dosing line holders, reef dosers themselves. It's all here. It looks like they are very much set up, very big Red Sea dealer, at least here in South Korea. Okay, this is it, the pièce de résistance. This is what the whole cafe, store, whatever you want to call this amazing magical place is centered around. This 5 foot by 5 foot by 2 foot Starfire custom built aquarium. I would use the word masterpiece, which I don't use very often. It's very unusual tank, very beautiful tank. It's big. There's no way you don't notice it. It just pulls you in from every single angle, and it's so cool because you get 4 different aquariums to look at, and there's no exposed wires or plumbing or anything like that. It's got this center overflow. Everything is neatly hidden right down the middle. I'm going to ask if I can see the sump in a second. And I've only ever seen one other tank like this, and that's, like I said, at Reefapalooza at the Neptune booth. They had a similar size and similar setup at, it was Las Vegas, not Reefapalooza, my bad. I'm still jet lagged on this trip. Macna in Las Vegas, similar size. But this is really a dream sort of setup, because you don't want to take away from the tank with any of the, you know, with any of the pumps or with any of the heaters or any of the lighting. You really want to just be able to enjoy what you've made and created. Look at this little garden of Shally. Oh my God, so satisfying. Basically every color that they're known to come in, finishing with a beautiful master example there in the back corner. Usually we would scatter these sort of throughout. It's kind of nice. I wonder if you can actually purchase out of these tanks here, or if it's only the ones in the back. And then we're greeted with this really nice Euphilia garden. Look at this. If you ever read that hammers and frog spawns can't touch, I've been preaching this on the channel for maybe, what are we, 3 years old now? They can touch. It's here. Look, that's a frog spawn, that's a hammer, and that's a frog spawn, and that's a hammer, and that's a frog spawn, and that's a hammer, and they all live nicely together. Generally, we don't want the skeletons to touch. Give them a little bit of space if you can. If you want to group them together, you can go ahead and do that. We have some beautiful lobos across the bottom. Again, March's favorite, the leather corals. Again, light on the fish. You know what? Could have more fish, I think. If it was me, I would stock this thing to the TITS with fish. It's just so nice to see like a big school of Anthias or Chromis, and then look at this leather. Just a showpiece. Massive leather. If you didn't know, look how big leathers can get. Just super healthy. Almost like a blue sort of color. And then a garden of Acanthophilias, Cinerias, more leathers. I guess the other tanks are more acro dominated, so here we're greeted with sort of like, oh, you know what? That wasn't by accident. You know what? I'm sure this is how it was set up. Acropora, mixed reef. We have some acro, LPS and softies, and then you go over to that tank over there, and it's just softies. So if you're coming in looking to set up one of these, you live maybe in Seoul and you want one of these in your house, you know, this way you could walk a customer through and show them all the different types of corals and what you can keep and what kind of care level is required. Again, ATI Stradions, running 4 of them over this tank. This is just such a nice example of granulosa. Acropora granulosa, just perfect example. I think the lights are switching more to white, so I'm going to throw my lens back up. Ta-da! Check it out. Some Kenya tree. You know, this is a coral I think doesn't get enough love. Personal, very, very high on the list of favorite corals. Why? Because it's a freaking purple tree that you keep with almost no care. Look at how it frags itself. People say it's invasive. I say no. You can peel it right off the rock if you wanted to. This long tentacle toadstool is so satisfying. I could pull up a bar stool, have a coffee, and sit right here. The longer I'm staying in the store and seeing really how cool this entire concept is, I might go over to the bar next door and make an offer and just tell them, hey buddy, it's time to move. We need the Frag Box Cafe right next to it. And this cabbage coral is just perfect against just leather, beautiful leathers. All different, all long tentacle. Some easy to keep Pusillipora. Again, very, very healthy fish. Just an incredible tank. And I'm surprised. I want to see what's underneath because it doesn't seem like a lot of float. We have 4 max spec gyres, but the smallest versions that they make. Oh, blue leather. I feel like such a leather nerd. Let me see if I can maybe open up the sump somehow to see what's going on underneath. Oh my God, lunchtime.
Wow, it's beautiful.
No, I'm okay. Does this open? Let's see what's going on underneath. Oh my God. Okay, now I'm hungry.
Signature pie.
Oh.
And inside and meat. This is a meat pie.
감사합니다. Look at that. Look at the treatment.
Thank you so much.
I'm really liking this country. Oh, check it out. Now we can see the filtration, what's going on. I always say underneath the skirt. Again, aluminum stand. No expenses spared. Nothing was done cheaply in this place. You can tell. Very good equipment. Everything's Red Dragon pumps and Bubble King skimmers. Reef mats on every tank. You like these reef mats, huh?
Yeah.
I see you using them everywhere. Even the plumbing, it's all done in this beautiful sort of purple.
And this tank is a water change tank.
Oh, water change tank.
Yeah. All out.
Oh, no way.
New water.
And then
in,
refill.
And return on.
Where do you mix the water? And then you make where? This is so nice. It's all neatly hidden underneath. It looks like, oh, look at this. We're using some no-pox here for nitrogen reduction. They say nitrogen and phosphate. In my experience, Red Sea, if you're watching, I only ever see nitrate reduction. I never see any phosphates being reduced from that. And then some Red Sea alkalinity additive. We use that for a long time. We just switched back to actually ESV. Red Sea makes good stuff. And they've been making it for a very long time. I don't know how I miss these chalice because I get too excited for soft corals and I end up just glancing over some chalice. Look at this, really simple. Lots of live rock in the sump. I'm not even sure if it's necessary because you have a pretty decent amount up here. The rock work is just perfect. It's kind of hiding the overflow, but you got enough caves for fish to go in and out of. And then if that wasn't enough, you're fully stocked here on the bottom with a Vectra, looks like an L1 as a return pump. I really like the way it's set up. It's nice that you can access a sump from every single angle so that if you need to, for whatever reason, it's fully accessible. I wonder where the power is coming from actually, because we're in the middle of the room. I would suspect it's coming from underneath the floor somewhere. Yeah, looks like right here, our power hub. So something like this, if you wanted to do, maybe in your house or wherever you're thinking an idea like this. Actually, we have a customer back in Toronto that's going to set up one shortly like this. It'd really have to be thought out because he's bringing water in and power from the floor, and we're standing on a concrete floor. So a little bit of thought has to go into something, a lot of thought actually into setting up one with this sort of design. Looks like these are going to be set up for fish very soon to sell some fishies. It's kind of a strange setup actually. I've never seen it quite like this, but it's pretty cool. So they have your tank, your 5 or 6 foot tank set up this way, and then dividers actually going this way. Like typically we would expect to see them this way, if that makes sense, horizontal sort of pattern. This is going the long ways across the tank, creating almost like a raceway, and then we have individual overflows going into the back here. That's just an interesting way of doing it. I would have never thought to do it ever in that sort of format. It's just kind of cool. And then again, sticking with the theme of super clean, look how it's all laid out, It's just beautiful granite countertops, custom stainless steel sinks, cabinetry. I think that's an RO system. What leads me to believe that is I can read and it says RO system, but I'm not sure. I've never seen an RO system in a box quite like that. That's it, guys, boys and girls. Really cool shop. We're going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fragbox TV. Like I said, we're never going to see another shop quite like this anywhere unless maybe we build one, or if you build one, and then you can invite us out and we'll come check it out. But see us, check us back on the next episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and this has been an absolute pleasure. And again, one of the coolest, if not the coolest, we've ever done here on the channel. Bye for now.